As we reach mid-November 2025, the UK finds itself at a fascinating turning point in the seasonal calendar. The last of the autumn leaves are falling, and there's a sense of anticipation in the air as the country prepares for the transition from the golden hues of autumn to the chillier, more unpredictable days of early winter. For many, this is a time of year that brings both excitement and a bit of apprehension. Will we see an early winter wonderland, or will the mild, damp conditions linger a little longer? The UK is about to experience a dramatic shift in weather, and it's one that could catch many by surprise. After weeks of relatively stable, mild conditions, the atmosphere is gearing up for a significant change. The skies are growing heavier, and the winds are beginning to pick up, signaling that something new is on the horizon. Over the coming weeks, we'll see the weather take a sharp turn. Temperatures are set to drop noticeably, bringing the first real cold snap of the season. Frosty mornings will become more common, and there's even a chance of wintry showers in some areas, especially across northern and higher ground. For those who have been enjoying the milder weather, it's time to dig out the winter coats, scarves, and gloves. In this chapter, we'll break down the forecast in detail. We'll start by looking at the current mild spell, exploring why temperatures have stayed above average for so long, and what's been driving the relatively calm conditions. Then we'll track the anticipated plunge in temperatures, examining the weather systems responsible for ushering in colder air from the north and east. We'll also discuss the potential for snow, where it's most likely to fall, and how much we might expect. But the story doesn't end with the cold snap. After this brief taste of winter, the latest weather model suggests that milder, wetter conditions could return as November draws to a close. This means more rain for many areas, with the potential for unsettled weather patterns to dominate once again. We'll look at how this could impact travel, outdoor plans, and even the early festive season. To help make sense of these changes, we'll also examine how different computer models, like the ECMWF and GFS, are interpreting the weeks ahead. These powerful forecasting tools use vast amounts of data to predict everything from temperature swings to precipitation patterns. We'll compare their outlooks, highlight any key differences, and explain what that means for your local area. Finally, we'll take a sneak peek into early December. Will the mild, unsettled theme continue, or could another cold spell be lurking just around the corner? We'll discuss the signals meteorologists are watching, and what they could mean for the start of the meteorological winter. Whether you're hoping for snow, or just want to know when to expect the next bout of rain, we've got you covered. By the end of this chapter, you'll have a clear sense of what to expect from the ever-changing British weather as we head into winter. We'll offer practical tips for staying prepared, from keeping your home warm to planning your journeys safely. No matter where you are in the UK, understanding the forecast can help you make the most of the season ahead. So, let's dive into the details and see what the next few weeks have in store for the UK's weather. On November 16th, high pressure to the north and low pressure to the south are driving an easterly wind across the UK. Despite the breeze, temperatures are unusually mild. Central England is running over 5 degrees above average for mid-November. This warmth is temporary. The weather pattern is about to shift as the high near Greenland moves. The stage is set for a dramatic change, with colder air poised to sweep in. The current mild spell is the calm before the storm. A major pattern shift is coming, bringing a much colder, wintry feel. Enjoy the last of the warmth. Winter is waiting in the wings. The headline for the third week of November is the arrival of the season's first significant cold snap. High pressure near Iceland will shift, drawing in cold Arctic air across the UK. By midweek, temperatures will tumble, with the north feeling the chill most sharply. Expect widespread, overnight frosts and icy mornings, especially in rural and northern areas. It's time to dig out the winter coats and gloves. This cold snap marks the true arrival of winter, with a sharp, sustained drop in temperatures. The big question, will this cold air bring snow? The setup is there for wintry showers. Let's see where they might fall. Winter is about to make its presence felt. A trough of low pressure sweeps across the UK on November 18th, clearing out the mild air and ushering in Arctic winds. By Wednesday and Thursday, a true cold blast grips the country. Daytime highs struggle, and wind chills bite. Expect a mix of sunshine and wintry showers, especially over higher ground in the north. Snow is likely for the Scottish mountains and Pennines, with a chance of flakes at lower levels in northern and eastern areas. Sharp overnight frosts will bring icy patches, making mornings hazardous. This is a classic early winter shock. Layers and caution are essential. The cold blast will be brief but memorable. Winter's warning shot has arrived. As the weekend approaches, the weather turns uncertain. Cold air remains, but a new Atlantic system brings milder, wetter air from the west. The clash of air masses could mean heavy precipitation, rain, sleet, or snow, depending on temperatures. If the cold holds, snow could fall not just on high ground but at lower levels in central and northern UK. A slight shift in temperature could mean the difference between rain and disruptive snow. The forecast is finely balanced, making this weekend one to watch. Stay updated. Conditions could change rapidly. The outcome will define whether we see a memorable wintry event or just a wet weekend. The weather battle is on. In weather offices across the UK, forecasters are glued to their screens tracking the latest computer model outputs. These models, which use vast amounts of atmospheric data, are the backbone of modern forecasting. But right now, they're painting very different pictures for the weekend ahead, leaving meteorologists with a challenging puzzle to solve. The UK Met and GEM models, for example, are hinting that a powerful Atlantic system could slow down or even stall as it approaches the UK. If this happens, cold air from the north could dig in, and the result would be a significant risk of heavy snow, especially for central and northern regions. Rural communities and higher ground could see disruptive accumulations, with travel and daily life potentially impacted. On the other hand, the ECMWF and ICON models are telling a different story. They suggest that milder, Atlantic air will sweep in more quickly, overwhelming the cold and turning most of the precipitation to rain. In this scenario, southern and western areas would see wet, blustery conditions, with only brief or patchy snow possible further north. The root of this disagreement lies in subtle shifts in atmospheric pressure, temperature, and wind direction. Tiny changes that can have huge consequences for the forecast. Even a slight difference in the position of the jet stream or the timing of a weather front can tip the balance between snow and rain. As the weekend draws closer, forecasters expect the models to gradually come into better agreement. But for now, both rain and snow remain firmly on the table, and the potential for rapidly changing conditions is high. It's a situation that keeps everyone on their toes. Meteorologists are poring over every new update, comparing runs, and looking for trends that might offer clues. They're also drawing on their experience and local knowledge to interpret what the models are showing, knowing that small-scale features can make all the difference. For the public, this means it's more important than ever to stay tuned to the latest forecasts. Conditions could change quickly, and what looks likely one day could shift dramatically the next. Checking your weather app or local news regularly will help you stay prepared, whether you're planning a journey or just heading out for the day. The next few model runs will be especially important. Each update brings new data and, hopefully, a clearer picture of what's to come. Forecasters will be watching closely for signs that the models are starting to agree, which will boost confidence in the forecast. This is a classic example of British weather uncertainty, where the outcome hangs in the balance, and even the experts are waiting for the atmosphere to reveal its hand. It's a reminder of just how dynamic and unpredictable our weather can be. For now, the forecast remains on a knife edge, with both rain and snow possible. All eyes are on the next updates, as the nation waits to see which way the weather will turn. As we approach the final days of November, the UK finds itself in a familiar seasonal transition. The recent cold snap, which brought frosty mornings and a wintry feel to much of the country, is set to be short-lived. While the weekend may have started with icy windscreens and crisp, chilly air, this taste of winter is already beginning to fade. The landscape, once dusted with frost, is slowly thawing as the sun rises a little higher each day, hinting at a change in the weather pattern. As November draws to a close, high pressure that kept things settled and cold is retreating eastward. In its place, westerly winds are making a comeback, sweeping in from the Atlantic. These winds are the harbingers of milder, wetter air, and they signal a shift away from the sharp chill of recent days. Weather systems from the Atlantic are gathering strength, ready to bring a new round of changeable conditions to the UK. With the arrival of these westerly winds, temperatures across much of England and Wales will begin to recover. The air will feel noticeably milder, especially compared to the frosty mornings earlier in the month. people may find themselves reaching for lighter jackets instead of heavy coats. In Scotland, however, temperatures are likely to remain closer to the seasonal average, with a more gradual transition away from the cold. This north-south split is typical for this time of year, as milder air struggles to reach the far north. Of course, the price for this milder air is a return to unsettled weather. Rain-bearing fronts will sweep across the country, bringing periods of wet and windy weather. Expect frequent showers, gusty winds, and the occasional brighter spell as the clouds break. The weather will be highly changeable, with some areas seeing heavy downpours while others enjoy brief moments of sunshine. It's the kind of weather that keeps you on your toes, never quite sure whether to pack an umbrella or sunglasses. As the rain becomes more persistent, the risk of frost and snow will fade into the background. However, with the ground already saturated in some places, localized flooding could become a concern if the rain continues for several days. Rivers may swell, fields could become waterlogged, and low-lying areas might see standing water. It's a reminder that, while the threat of ice and snow diminishes, other weather hazards can quickly take their place. This is a classic late autumn pattern for the UK: wet, windy, and ever-changing. The last week of November often brings a mix of blustery showers, swirling leaves, and rapidly shifting skies. It's a time when the landscape is in flux, with autumn's golden hues giving way to the gray tones of early winter. The weather can change in an instant, making every day a little unpredictable. The brief taste of winter, with its icy mornings and fleeting snow showers, is now giving way to a spell of unsettled, milder weather. Roads that were recently slick with frost are now wet with rain, and the threat of snow is replaced by the patter of raindrops on windows. It's a reminder of how quickly the UK's weather can turn, moving from one season to the next almost overnight. So as we head into December, it's time to put away the ice scrapers and dig out the umbrellas. Mornings that once required de-icing the car will now call for waterproof jackets and sturdy boots. The daily routine shifts with the weather, and the familiar sound of rain tapping on rooftops returns. It's all part of the UK's ever-changing climate, where adaptability is key. The UK's weather keeps us guessing, never quite settling into one pattern for long. As November ends, we trade the crispness of early winter for the damp, dynamic days of late autumn. One thing's for sure: there's always something new on the horizon. As December begins, long-range models point to continued unsettled mild weather. Low pressure to the west or northwest keeps a southerly or southwesterly flow over the UK. Temperatures are likely to stay at or above average, with rain and wind dominating. The start of December looks damp and mild, not frosty. Looking further ahead, some models hint at high pressure building to the north, which could eventually bring colder air. For now, though, the mild, unsettled theme continues. Weather watchers will be alert for any sign of a pattern change as Christmas approaches. Winter's story isn't over yet. In summary, the next few weeks bring a classic British weather roller coaster. Prepare for a sharp cold snap, with frosts and the risk of snow, especially in the north. Stay informed. Model uncertainty means conditions could change quickly, impacting travel and daily plans. As November ends, expect a return to milder, wetter, and windier weather. Flooding could become a concern as rain replaces frost and snow. Each phase brings its own challenges, demanding flexibility and preparation. The battle between air masses will keep us on our toes as we head towards Christmas. Keep watching the skies. Winter may have more surprises in store.